Hey, fourth grade, you have your long division practice test today. So I cloned myself, so there are 3, 6, 9 of me to help you with your practice test to make sure you do your work. So use this video with all 9 of me to check your work and work hard and see if you can find the secret word. Good luck. Hey everyone, here is your long division practice test to get us ready for our test tomorrow. I know there's not a spot for the secret word on the page, but there is a secret word today, so stay tuned and see if you can find it. We are going to start out with some 2-digit dividend problems, and then we will have some 3-digit dividend problems, and then we'll finish with some 4-digit dividend problems, which will be just like on your test. So let's get started with 43 divided by 3. I'm going to do my checklist on the side. If you tested out of your checklist, then you don't have to use this, but if you did not, you should be doing this every single time. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers raw? Start with D for determine. So if I have 4 10-packs of Smarties and 3 kids that I am sharing with, I have enough to pass out a 10-pack to each kid. So I'm going to put a box around my 4 and a box around my 3. 2 boxes means I need to go through my checklist 2 times. I'm still on D determine. 3 times what gets me close to 4 without going over? 1. Multiply. 3 kids each get 1 Smartie. So for a total of 3 times 1 equals 3. That's how many Smarties I passed out so far. Now I subtract to see how many I have left over. 4 minus 3 equals 1. Let me compare. I have 1 Smartie in my hand, and there are 3 kids that I'm sharing with, so I don't have enough to pass out a pack to every kid, so I can bring over my 1 or bring up my 1 in front of the 3 to make it 13. I have another box left, so I'm going to repeat. That means I go back to the top of my checklist and determine. 3 times what gets me close to 13 without going over? 4. Multiply. 3 kids each get 4 Smarties. Tree times door equals elf 12. That's how many Smarties I passed out so far. Now I can subtract to see how many I have left in my hand. 13 minus 12 equals 1. Compare. I have 1 Smartie left and 3 kids. I can't keep passing out more Smarties, so the kids are happy. So I'm going to bring up the 1 and then repeat or remainder. I don't have another box left, so it's going to be a remainder of 1. And the directions say solve each problem, then check with a calculator to make sure it's correct. You can do this on your test to double check and make sure you get the right answer. We have another 2-digit dividend over here, 25 Smarties, sharing them with 9 kids. I'm going to put my checklist to the side. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers raw? Start out with D, determine. I'm going to look at my 10 packs. If I have 2 10 packs of Smarties and 9 kids, I don't have enough to start passing them out. So I'm going to have to underline my next number. Now I have 25, and I have enough to pass out to 9 kids. So this problem only gets 1 box, which is great news because that means I only have to go through my checklist 1 time. I'm still on step D, determine. 9 times what gets me close to 25 without going over? That would be 2. Multiply. 9 kids each get 2 Smarties. 9 times 2 equals 18. Subtract to see how many Smarties I have left. 25 minus 18 equals 7. Compare. I have 7 Smarties left and 9 kids, so I don't have enough Smarties to pass out 1 to each kid. So I know my kids are happy, and I can bring up the 7. Repeat or remainder. I don't have another box, so it is remainder 7. So each kid gets 2 Smarties, and I have 7 left over. Let's move on to some 3-digit dividends. I have 113 divided by 2. Start off with my checklist. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers raw? Start out with D, determine. I'm going to underline my first digit. This is a 100-pack of Smarties because I have 3 digits. So think of that Smarties rope with 10 10 packs together. So I don't have enough of these Smarties ropes to pass out to 2 kids that I'm sharing with. So I need to go to my next number, 11. Now I have enough to pass out to 2 kids. So I can put a box around 11, a box around the 3. 2 boxes means I need to go through my checklist 2 times. All right, still on determine. 2 times what gets me close to 11 without going over? That would be 5. Multiply. 2 kids each get 5 Smarties. 2 times 5 is 10. Subtract to find out how many Smarties I have left. 11 minus 10 equals 1. Compare. I have 1 Smartie left in my hand, 2 kids to share them with. Not enough to pass them out to everyone, so the kids are happy, and I can bring up my 1. So breaking apart that 10 pack and bringing it up, so now I have 13 individuals. And I'm going to repeat because I have another box. So that means I go back to the top of my checklist, determine 2 times what gets me close to 13 without going over? 6. Multiply. 2 kids each get 6 Smarties. 2 times 6 equals 12. Subtract to see how many Smarties I have left in my hand. 13 minus 12 equals 1. Compare, once again, 1 Smartie, 2 kids, not enough to keep passing out, so I can bring up my 1, and it is going to be a remainder because I don't have another box. So each kid gets 56 Smarties with 1 left over. Let's look at this one. 848 Smarties, sharing with 4 kids. Start out with my checklist. Does McDonald's sell cheese burgers raw? Start with determine. I'm going to underline my first number. That is, I have 8 Smarties ropes to share with 4 kids. So I have enough of these big ropes to make sure every kid gets 1. So my first box goes around my 8. My next box goes around 4. And my next box goes around 8. So I have 3 boxes. That means I need to go through my checklist 3 times. Still on determine. 4 times what gets me close to 8 without going over? Well, I know 2 will get me exactly there. Multiply. 4 kids each get 2 Smarties. 4 times 2 equals 8. Subtract to see how many Smarties I have left in my hand, and I have 0 ropes of Smarties left in my hand, so I can move on to passing out my 10 packs. Let's compare to make sure. I have 0 left. Go ahead and bring over your 0. So that goes in front there. And then I'm going to repeat because I have another box. Back to the top of my checklist, determine 4 times what gets me close to 4 without going over? 1. Multiply. 4 kids each get 1 10-pack of Smarties. 4 times 1 equals 4. Subtract to see how many I have left. 4 minus 4 equals 0. Compare. I have 0 Smarties left. I'm sharing with 4 kids, so I can't pass out anymore. That means I can bring up my 0, and I'm going to repeat because I have 1 more box left. Back to the top, determine. 4 times what gets me close to 8 without going over? 4 times 2. Multiply. 4 kids each get 2 Smarties. 4 times 2 equals 8. Subtract. 8 minus 8 equals 0. Compare. I have 0 Smarties left in my hand and 4 kids to pass out to. I don't have enough to keep passing out, so I'm going to bring up the 0, repeat a remainder. I don't have another box left, so it is remainder of 0. Your secret word is smarty pants. So you actually have 2 secret words, but you need both. Smarty pants. There you go. So each kid gets 212 Smarties, and I have 0 left over. Those are some happy kids. All right, 2 more. Moving on to 4-digit dividends. Start with your checklist. Does McDonald's sell cheese burgers raw? Let's determine. I underline the first digit. This is like having 10 of those big Smarties ropes all tied together. So I have a ton of them. I have 9 of those big ropes. I'm only sharing with 4 kids. So I have enough to pass out big ropes to everyone. So I'm going to put a box around the 9, a box around the 6, a box around the 2, and a box around the 3. So the kids are getting a lot of Smarties, but I have to go through my checklist 4 times, so it's a lot of work for me. We are still on determine. 4 times what? It gets me close to 9 without going over. 2. Multiply. 4 kids each get 2 Smarties. 4 times 2 equals 8. Subtract to see how many Smarties I have left. 9 minus 8 equals 1. Compare. I have 1 Smartie left. I'm sharing with 4 kids. I don't have enough to keep passing them out, so I'm going to bring over the 1. Then I'm going to repeat because I have another box left. Back to the top. Determine. 4 times what? Gets me close to 16 without going over. 4. Multiply. Door times door equals 6 queens, 16. Subtract to see how many Smarties I have left. 0. Compare. I have 0 Smarties left in my hand to share with 4 kids. Not enough to keep passing out, so I'm going to bring up my 0. And I'm going to repeat because I have another box left. Back to the top. D stands for determine. 4 times what gets me close to 2 without going over. This time that is 0, because 4 times 1 would be 4, that would go over. So I have to give 0 right now. Then I'm going to multiply. 4 kids each get 0 Smarties. 4 times 0 equals 0. Subtract to see how many I have left. I have 2 Smarties left in my hand. Compare. If I have 2 Smarties in my hand, I don't have enough to pass them out to 4 kids. So I'm going to bring up my 2 in front of the 3, and I'm going to repeat because I have 1 more box left. Back to the top one more time. Determine. 4 times what gets me close to 23 without going over. 5. Multiply. 4 kids each get 5 Smarties. 4 times 5 equals 20. Subtract. 23 minus 20 equals 3. Compare. I have 3 Smarties left, not enough to pass out to 4 kids, so I'm going to bring up the 3 and repeat or remainder. This time it is a remainder because I don't have another box left. Put in your comma, 1, 2, 3, kick, and each kid gets 2,405 Smarties, and I have 3 left over. Here's your bonus. Draw a pair of pants next to your Smartie pants to get that extra money. All right, last one. This time I am sharing 3,025 Smarties with 5 kids. Start off with my checklist. Does McDonald's sell cheeseburgers raw? Let's determine if I have 3 of those big, huge, long ropes of 10 packs, and I'm sharing with 5 kids, I don't have enough to give every kid 1. So I'm going to slide over to my next number. Now I have 30, so I have enough to pass out. So I am going to put a box around 30, a box around 2, and a box around 5. 3 boxes means I need to go through my checklist 3 times. So still determining 5 times what gets me close to 30 without going over. 6. Multiply. 5 kids each get 6 Smarties. 5 times 6 equals 30. Subtract to see how many Smarties I have left. That is 0. Compare. 0 Smarties. 5 kids that I'm sharing with. So the kids are happy and I can bring up my 0. Then repeat or remainder. I'm going to repeat because I have another box left. Back to the top. D determine 5 times what gets me close to 2 without going over. Well, 5 times 1 is 5, so I have to give 0 Smarties. Then I multiply. 5 kids each get 0 Smarties. 5 times 0 equals 0. Subtract to find out how many Smarties I have left. 2 minus 0 equals 2. Compare. 2 Smarties left in my hand to pass out to 5 kids. Don't have enough to keep passing out, so I'm going to bring up my 2 and repeat or remainder. I'm going to repeat one more time because I have 1 more box left. Back to the top of the checklist. Determine 5 times what gets me close to 25 without going over. 5. Multiply. 5 kids each get 5 Smarties. 5 times 5 equals 25. Subtract to see how many Smarties I have left. 25 minus 25 equals 0. Compare. I have 0 Smarties left, so I can't pass out any more to the 5 kids. So I'm going to bring up the 0, and it is my remainder because I don't have another box. So my answer is each kid gets 605 Smarties with a remainder of 0. Okay, I hope having 9 teachers helping you with your practice test helped you to get the right answer. Good luck on your test tomorrow. I know you can do it.